So I'll put a link up in the description to the photograph of the Joker. This is a photo I just took a couple of days before, and it is actually a very simple photograph. And the whole idea is really just to capture your travel in your sketchbook as you observe. It's kind of like taking photograph with your mobile phone, but of course, in this case, it's using a sketchbook to keep your memory. Apologies for my voice. Sounds a little bit gruffy or scruffy, and that's because I'm nursing a slight cold at the moment, and I'm actually editing from my iPad, which is not what I, you know, have always been doing. I use the desktop. Anyway, back to the sketch. This is kind of like a good way of keeping memory. It's a way of keeping your travel sketch as opposed to using your phone for your photograph. You're actually keeping memory. Keep the sketch loose. It doesn't have to be accurate. You just have to have some semblance of the outline and some kind of a view of what you've seen, and that's good enough to keep the memory. As I lay the first wash, I start with the background. The idea is to push the statue forward with a soft diffused edges sort of wash, very mellow, very soft. Um, and it sort of depict the sky, although the sky is not purple, more bluish. But artistic license applied. It is a sketch and it's just an impression. The reason for the softness is so that when you put the hard edge of the statue, it will kind of make it pop, it will make it stand out, it will make it push to the foreground. And as you can see, I'm just putting slightly different color. Brown and green is a combination, or rather reddish brown. So color scheme is really more very muted green red sort of color combination. So the idea here is layering multiple layer using value as a guide. You can see where the shadow part of the statue is. I use green gold for the light version, and then I mix a little bit of brown, a little bit of red into it, complementary color to green, to create a bit of shadow part of the statue. Very easy. This is just to create a sense of uh, contrast and shadow, three-dimensional form for the statue itself. It's a good idea to be deliberate and not use too big a brush stroke when you are dabbing away at the shadow. As you can see, from the photograph, you will notice that some of the shadow part are actually small little shape. Try to think of the shadow as shapes, as opposed to just shadow, right? In quote. The reason for this is that every single sort of touches that you make on your sketchbook, you need to have some idea around how the shape looks like and what are the soft edges that you want to apply to that shape. And if you start thinking of every single shape as distinct shapes, you are going to get much better in your sketching, because then they are not just some muddled drawn lines all over the place, but they are actually shapes that you are deliberately making onto your sketchbook. So there you go, the sketch is almost done, and you have got a great memory from your visit to wherever you go. Specifically, it's an easy method if you are actually looking at sketching statues, like what I normally do. I love sketching these statues. Have a good day. Bye.